Shalom. Levi Chazan here in parsha Shavua, vayeitzei. Yaakov Avinu heads out from his home, from his family, from Eretz Yisrael, and goes into the exile for more than 20 years. A visit with Uncle Laban, Mr. White, living in his own White House over there. Well, today is the first day of the ceasefire after hundreds and hundreds of missiles were fired daily into the southern cities of the land of Eretz Yisrael, all the way out to Tel Aviv and went up to Jerusalem. We finally have peace in the land. Not. When we saw this type of war that has been going on for many, many years in the land of Israel, is a very, very unfortunate war. Because as we all know, this agreement is not worth the paper that it is written on. Where will we go from here? Where do we take it from here? This is what we must be asking ourselves. What type of war have the Jewish people fought? What has lessons to be learned? And unfortunately, we are fighting this war with one hand tied behind our back, unable to achieve any type of victory. Many people are proud of this. Look at us. We're a moral army. But you don't go out to fight a war that you cannot win. And really all of this comes from the source of fear of the nations. What will the nations say? We get the okay from the US, from the Europeans. Oh, bomb them, but don't send in the troops. And everyone knows that until you clean the house over there of all the scum, you could never achieve any type of victory. If you look in the Tanakh, we find that after Samson and after the other great judges, the land was quiet for 40 years. The land was quiet for 80 years. How do you achieve such quietness? You achieve it by totally destroying the enemy. First, we must realize that this is an enemy. Then we must go in to totally destroy it, to totally level them. And in that way, you can ensure quiet for 40 years. But not this way. Not fighting with one hand. Not doing a little bit of damage to them and still holding back. And your own cities and your own people are being bombarded. And all of this comes from what will the nations tell us. And our leaders, our prime minister, all the way down, always have this fear on top of them. To get the okay, to find favor in the nations. Not taking care of business, not doing what we have to do to defend the Jewish people, but rather, what will the nations say? How will they react? And they'll condemn us, and they'll call us names, and they'll bring us before the UN in any case. So you might as well get the job done and not worry about what they're doing. In this week's parsha, we find Yaakov leaving his house, and he comes upon the Temple Mount, Har Moriah, and there he sees the visions. He sees a window, a chalon, a window opening up in front of him, connecting heaven and earth together. The center of the universe, the Temple Mount, the place where Abraham brought Isaac to be sacrificed, the place where Noach, when he came out of the ark, brought a sacrifice, the place where Adam, when he was first created, brought his sacrifice from the dust that he was created from in that particular spot, the most holiest spot in the world. And Jacob looks up and he sees the ladder with the angels coming up and coming down. And there God shows him the vision of the four great kingdoms in this world: Paras, Madai, Yavan, and Edom, Rome. And all other angels come up the ladder, they go up to the greatest heights, they control the world, and then they come down. Paras goes up, Madai goes up, the Greeks go up, Rome goes up, and up, and up, and up. And Jacob becomes frightful. Will they ever come down? Rome, who have been ruling for over 2,000 years. God says, even if they go to the heights of the stars, from there I will bring them down. And God turns to Jacob and says, Jacob, arise, go up the ladder. For if you do, the world will be in a tikkun olam. You will fix the world at this point in time in history. We will go back to the place of Gan Eden. The world will be perfected. But Jacob, the mighty one of Israel, Jacob, had this fear and lack of faith, and did not want to go up at this time. He was afraid that if he would go up, he too would come down. And so Jacob didn't go up. And we're still here. And history is still developing and unfolding before our eyes. This same defect in this trait of trust finds us today in our situation. Fear of the nations. Fear of what they will do, what they will say. They'll condemn us. Oh my God, they won't love the Jewish people. That's the fear that holds one hand behind our back when we go to battle. That's the fear that you can never win a war with. It's time to throw off that yoke, to take care of business, not to worry about what they will say, but to take care of your own people, to defend them, to make a Kiddush Hashem. That is the only way to get the job done. I'm Levi Chazan from somewhere in Yerushalayim. Parsha Shavua from Yeshivat Rayon HaYehudi. I'll see you next week.